Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Hayden Raven, and welcome to A Thing to Strive For. Now, in the not-so-distant future, when working day-to-day has never been easier, we find ourselves in this own predicament. So, ladies and gentlemen, join me this evening as we get through this and have some fun. By Patrick Case, it's Wednesday, and this week things are going to be different. A crab scuttles onto the beach of black stone slabs, trying to escape the frothing sea behind it. A wave stampedes onto the shore, crushing the crab against the rock. It is peaceful. It is upsetting. Account balance? That's blurred. That's weird. Restart and bookmark. Strange. It is peaceful. You can't help but enjoy nature, even at its worst. No matter what happens, the world is always changing. And as if the time with the crashing waves, the light turns green, and your car flies off to the bureau for your shift. You're stuck at the gate for what feels like forever, forced to give way to the buses and assigns already on their way out, and then the military convoy. But you get inside eventually. You park as close as you can to the tall bureau building. You're half a click away from the building, but only steps away from the queue bleeding out the front door. Your life fell into far too much of a rut lately. Granted, it was workable rut where, so long as you didn't splurge, you could always pay rent, but your car is getting old, your apartment feels more cramped by the day, and overall, it feels like life after you graduated school a few years ago has just been waiting for the next shift. It's frustrating. And so today you decided to look for more carefully when getting your assignment. While waiting in line, you look around, see who's nearby. Maybe there's someone to talk to. Just tap on your music. Look around. Almost everyone looks as bored as you. About half are small groups of friends, yawning between sips of coffee as they pass the time chatting the line. Half are alone, like you. We'll see who's nearby. You notice Tim is just ahead of you in line. Though his back is turned, the two of you were pretty decent friends in high school. But since then, it's mostly just polite nods at a distance and some casual conversation. "Hey, Tim," you call. He turns around, and after a moment, he drops out of his spot in line to come back to you. You've both been coming long enough to see the brawls that happen when someone cuts. "Line seems to get longer every week," he says. "You're excited to get to work?" He nods. He laughs. "I don't even know what I'm doing." "What do you usually go for?" You shrug. "Whatever pays the bills?" Okay, I thought it said whatever pays the kills. After a few moments of silence, the line moves forward in a few more feet. He says, "Hey, so do you want to hang after work?" "Sure, why not? Socialization is wonderful." "All right, I'll see you on the flip side then," he says before you both head in. Building within is no more artistically rendered than the brutalist exterior. Its only sense of life is the fuzzing screen indicating the next available cubicle, 187, which you go to immediately, enough for your morning already wasted. Inside the cubicle, you sit, waving an arm over the screen. It flashes your face, and a name before switching over to the screen with a stern header, "Assignment." Tight, tired, with badly styled hair, 3 years gone. Your face, wow, It asks, "What is your name?" "My name is Hayden Raven." "How about them apples? How do you like them?" "Is this your name?" "Assignment." A list of options appear with a small familiar disclaimer up top. A job will be chosen based on preferences, but the Bureau of Business cannot guarantee a job in the preferred sector. Your job will be chosen based upon the availability. Only moral objections will be definitive. Jobs denoted by a SAR may offer further compensation. First is personal exemptions. The Bureau guarantees any and all assignments undertaken are state-approved and reviewed. Select yes for further options. Okay. What personal beliefs do you hold that may affect your assignment? Your potential assignments may be limited and incur greater than usual costs due to such factors as transportation and demand. Vegetarian, pacifist? None, actually. I am neither. I am boisterous and a meat eater. Personal exemptions. The Bureau guarantees any and all assignments undertaken are state-approved and reviewed. Please select yes for further options. Okay. What personal beliefs do you hold that may affect your assignments? Vegetarian or pacifist? Neither. Okay. So I guess I'm going to continue onward with that. Okay. Sector preferences. If you choose no, the Bureau will do its very best to make sure that you are used to your best capacity. Select yes for further options. Okay. Agriculture, customer service, government, military, Stara. Well, they said something about the Stara with further compensation, so let me press on that. Overtime will not exceed 14 hours from the beginning of the assignment. Okay. Danger pay. Any and all incurred medical conditions will be covered by the Bureau or by one of the corporations to which it is contracted. Okay. Assignment selected. Hayden Raven. Your perfect assignment has been selected. Okay. You keep erect as the screen instructs. A needle slides easily into the base of your neck, and you wait for the usual sensation of numbness to start in your fingers and toes. In just a few seconds, the assignment's identity is taken over. You have the barest moment of awareness of your body standing up before your mind goes blank. Wake up. Consciousness brings you back to the familiar sights, a low ceiling with buzzing electric lights, narrow windows hinting at a setting sun. A handful of other overtime workers are coming back to themselves too, but you don't recognize any of them. It's one of the nicer parts about working late. The room isn't the punch bowl of dissonant sounds, it is a 5 o'clock bell. It hurts to stand up, sore and tired, muscles protesting the movements. Whatever you had been doing, it was a busy day. On your feet, you pull out your phone and you see a pair of missed messages from Tim. 5:10 p.m. Where are you? 5:20. I'm going home. The time on your phone says it's past 9 p.m. You could apologize, or you could just ignore the messages. Apologize. I'm sorry. I really needed the overtime. You send back to Tim. I should have mentioned it. Before you get back to the car, he responds, okay. Then after a few moments, you consider the text. He adds, do you want to try again tomorrow? If you're not still doing overtime. Sure. Let me say sure. Sure, that'd be great. I promise I'll make it this time. You send back. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. It feels like forever since you've hung out with anyone, so you promise yourself, too, that you'll make it. Definitely. No overtime tomorrow, even if it means making a bit less. Head home. As you take the passenger seat in your car, you tap on the music, bass pounding in your car. That's not strictly legal, but the car drives fine with you taking shotgun. It keeps the warnings from beeping as your incoming call cuts off your music. It's from your mom. Take it. Nice of you to finally pick up, Hayden. Your mom says on the way to greetings. Her face is too close to the camera, nose taking up most part of the screen. You missed dinner. I was working overtime, you reply. Gotta save the cash money. She rolls her eyes. You haven't been over in ages. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you say. I can't pull this car through any more work than it has to. It's practically falling apart. There are more than a few things making rattling noises, though you can hardly notice them anymore. If you wouldn't move somewhere nicer, somewhere closer to us, you wouldn't need one. There's a transport hub just down the street, and that costs money, you say, looking out at the dark window anyway. You don't know what it's like working nowadays. I'm trying, okay? Easy is what it is, Mom says. I wish I'd gotten paid every time I went to bed. Yeah, I'll talk to you later. Love you. Love you too. Your apartment isn't glamorous. It's small and full 2 rooms, if a closet can be called a room, with no divider between the kitchen, a microwave above the sink, and your bedroom, a mattress beside the TV table. The bathrooms are communal at the opposite end of the hallway from your apartment. Still, the last relief of any day is getting in your pajamas, old and a little ripped but cozy. They're as much as a part of the nightly ritual as the canned beans are, and the PJs show that the stains. You don't waste any time in doing either before crashing for the night, the overtime having taken its toll. In bed, there's just one more thing to do. Check your bank account. $160. You smile. It's not much, but it'll leave you some money after bills. Maybe this will be the start of your new life. Go to sleep. You sleep through 2 alarms the next morning and have to eat during the commute, along with a cup of crappy coffee so you don't end up asleep in the parking lot. But crappy or not, when combined with a pumped-up music, it keeps you awake long enough to get into the long line outside the bureau. You're ahead of Tim this time in line, but when you see him, you dropped back so you can chat. Sorry again, you say, and try not to yawn. Doing overtime again anyway. He laughs. It's all right. I feel that crunch, but my body can't take the overtime. You chat amiably for a while until the line finally spits inside the bureau, flickering screens distracting you to free cubicles. For the 100th time, it feels, you apologize and promise you'll see him after. You honestly forgotten how good it feels just to talk to people, but it's the last punch you need to stay awake and step into the cubicle and the day's assignment. Assignment. A list of options appears in the small familiar disclaimer up top. A job will be chosen based on your preferences, but the Bureau of Business cannot guarantee a job is in a preferred sector. Your job will be chosen upon availability. Only moral objections will be definitive. Yes, you love more money. Today, would you like to repeat assignment 1 times the pay raise? Wow. No, you still want to change something. You don't see any point in changing your personal exemptions since nothing that drastic has changed in the past day, and you're definitely not doing overtime. Still, job preferences are up in the air. Yes, change my job preferences. I'll do customer service today. Yes. Your perfect assignment has been selected. A needle slides in numbness starts. The assignment's identity takes over. Wake up. Well, work is still work, but the sun shines with warm hues through the windows of the Bureau's outgoing chamber. It hurts to stand up, sore and tired muscles protesting the movements. Another busy day, you suppose. But hey, there's Tim. Wanna go somewhere? He asks. Sure. So what are you thinking? You ask Tim as you leave the Bureau and head for the parking lot. He shrugs. Anything. Food, arcade. I think, you frown. Yeah, I guess I don't really know what the kids, you say with included air quotes, are doing for fun these days. Food, games. He ticks each question off on a finger. Man, I haven't gone out for just about anything since high school. He laughs, then holds up a third finger. Wait, don't say anything expensive. Oh, he puts down his finger. Then after a few more moments, oh, food, games, Z-Tag. Z-Tag isn't cheap, you say. 1 round is. Fine, let's do Z-Tag. Let's get something else to eat. How about the arcade? 1 round of Z-Tag is fine. The Bureau isn't close to the city center. It allows assignees to be moved to and from it more easily. Still, a certain amount of life has sprung up around the building. And there's a Z-Tag building, of course. It doesn't matter that the area around the Bureau is practically a ghetto. If there's people, there will be a Z-Tag building. It's only a couple of minutes walks away and takes up most of a block of its own. Z-Tag appears on a big block letters over the entrance, banners unfurled down the walls at regular intervals showing that the latest big names in the game. You recognize most of them, but you haven't really been keeping up, so there's more than a few men, women, people on them, almost all under 25 for certain you couldn't name. Head inside. Did you ever want to be a big name tagger? You asked Tim. Tin? Is that Tin? I guess it is Tin. As you head inside, the front doors open automatically. Whoosh! Though they're almost open permanently as people stream in and out around you. It's prime time. Not really, he says. It's fun as heck, but I don't think I could ever commit to it like that. Insane fitness reflexes. It's the whole package, you nod. Did you ever want to? Heck yeah. It's all I ever wanted when I was in high school. I did track, worked out at lunch, the whole biz. Dang, Tin says. You're going to kick my rear end. Ha, not likely. I haven't played in years, since you moved out, specifically, as soon as paying bills took precedence over being actually able to do something dreamed for half your life. But dang, you're here to have fun, and you will have fun today. Who knows? Tin says. Maybe you could try going pro again if you keep playing. Get in line for the next open match. It's busy, but the line moves faster than getting in for an assignment. Even for a Z-Tag building in this area, there's a dozen arenas running open matches, plus 2 are for reserved practice sessions, and the professional arena, though that's seldom used outside of local startup leagues, which, with a lack of official tournaments ending up here. At the front of the line, you're asked for your tag. Tin says his is the Ultimator. You have always used one in high school. It was, don't judge my complacency, it's very easy. It's only a few minutes before you're suiting up. You used to have your own gear, but you had to sell it shortly after moving to pay for some car repairs. Gears for all types of player had hung up, giving you the choice of offense, defense, lure, poison, sponge. That sounds fun, but I'm going to go for the defense. You and Tin are sorted into the same team, and as you enter the foggy arena, you say, "Stay with me, and we'll see if we can still remember how to do this." He nods and follows you inside, laser pistol held loosely. It's not a great form, but he chose offense, so it shouldn't make a huge difference, as long as you can point it. You get out in front, buckler in position to block any fire, though the timer is still counting down to the start of the match. Though your recollection of Standard Arena is hazy, you recall enough to find yourself a safe nook with a handful of players on your team. It's ideal for sniping and protecting the sponge between the 5 of you. The sponge? No one took lures, which is frustrating. People seldom do in casual. Someone only usually picks sponge since it means easy ranks if you've got half-competent team. Soon enough, your timer ends and the match begins in earnest. This is very cool. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm actually going to end it here. This is a story about a man who is living his life in a rut and finds a little bit of happiness. So I'm going to leave the end up to you. Whether or not you continue this or continue the path I did, it's up to you, and you decide what you want to find out about him and Tin. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me on this wonderful dystopia, and I hope real life doesn't end up like this as well. But ladies and gentlemen, for now, I must bid you a good evening and a good night. I'll see ya.